Good evening. I'm so glad you could join us for this unique Gala in a Box experience tonight. My name is Aaliyah Hoffman and I am the Executive Director here at Halton Alive. I just want to say thank you so much for your commitment to pro-life education and for the ways that I know you live out your pro-life values. It's not always easy to be pro-life in a pro-choice world, but we believe firmly that education is the way to change the culture. Before I started working with Halton Alive, I had a very surface level understanding of the issues. I knew abortion was wrong and it's not something I should choose, but I had sort of put it in the category of complicated and awkward to talk about. But when I started working along with Halton Alive and I learned more by reading articles and hearing presentations on the topic, whether in person or through YouTube and podcasts, I came to a much deeper understanding of the issues. It's for that reason that I really believe in pro-life education as a way of changing our culture. I believe I am a living testament to that, as 8 years later I am still here working with Halton Alive, and I've seen that kind of transformation in the people around me as well. Education is the foundation to raising a pro-life generation. We want to see these values deeply rooted in families so that children grow up to be pro-life politicians and business people, pro-life parents themselves, sharing as teachers and nurses and doctors, and whatever they become in life, they would carry a pro-life view with them. Education is a common sense strategy. The behaviors and attitudes that we see in our culture are a consequence of the deeply rooted beliefs and values that people have. But when we can show them another perspective, another way to approach life, those values and beliefs change. The current culture is very focused on happiness. The pursuit of happiness seems to be the goal of this generation. And if something isn't going well in your life, if it's a marriage or a career or any situation really that isn't bringing you happiness, the cultural advice is to throw it away and start over. But we know that happiness is fleeting. If you're not seeking meaning in your life, then you're left with an empty type of happiness. And the fact is that challenges and sorrows will come your way, regardless of what you're pursuing. But it's the meaning in those situations that gives that much more emphasis to the joys and happinesses that you do experience. Pregnancy is a great example of this. You don't need to be a parent to know that the pain and struggle of childbirth only adds to the magnitude of joy and overwhelming love that a parent feels the moment they hear that baby cry. But this constant pursuit of happiness has actually created a depth of sorrow and loneliness in our culture that leads people to make decisions for abortion and euthanasia. So we focus on education because we know it is the root of lasting change. Proverbs 22 verse 6 is a familiar verse, but it holds a lasting truth. Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. We want to see families rooted in pro-life values. So tonight I'm excited to announce our plans for the future of education resources here at Halton Alive. COVID has created an opportunity for us to showcase our creativity and think outside the box when it comes to the next steps of our resource development. For a while now, we've had a desire to integrate more video, web-based content into our resources. Initially, we thought we could convert our classroom presentations into a video format that would allow teachers to access them at a moment's notice. The more we thought about it though, we realized that there was an opportunity to make these resources more comprehensive and appeal to a younger audience as well as the home environment. So we surveyed 113 people so far and talked with other leaders of educational pro-life groups and discovered that there is a need for this type of resource. Through a resource assessment, we discovered lots of individual things out there like crafts or books or video stories, but nothing that was a modern, comprehensive model. So tonight I get to introduce our plans to create branded pro-life educational resources called Live It Out. Each package will include key lesson points, tips for the person teaching the material, videos, stories, activities based on age, and very importantly, action challenges so that people can take this knowledge and apply it to their lives. You know, it is essential that we reach into the homes and start teaching kids at a younger age rather than waiting till they're teenagers and have been bombarded by the media. If you listened to the Jurgens testimony this evening, you will have heard great examples of how children at even young ages can understand and appreciate the value of human life and even get excited about pregnancy and being parents one day. And so our resources will grow with children in their maturity and depth of comprehension. We'll have 2 tracks of the Live It Out resource, Live It Out Kids and Live It Out Youth. And this will allow us to create age-appropriate materials that work in the environment of a classroom, a home, or even a church. Now I know what you might be thinking because I've thought it too. This is a big undertaking. But our survey also offered an opportunity for people to volunteer their skills and experience to help create these resource packages. As a result, we have a subcommittee of 15 people who are skilled in things like lesson planning as teachers, working with children and creating activities. We've got video editors and graphic designers and people of all sorts ready to join in and contribute their wisdom and experience. We're also collaborating with Choose Life Niagara on this project because we know that these resources as a web-based format can go beyond the boundaries of Halton and be a resource for other educational groups to give to the people in their community as well. We will begin with 1 lesson and grow from there until we reach a broader range of pro-life topics, and each year we'll be able to either update our packages or introduce new aspects of the pro-life movement that people can learn. We hope you are as excited about this idea as we are. I believe it has great potential to reach people and impact the next generation of pro-lifers. You know, there's a lot fighting for our attention right now, especially with COVID dominating the news, but there is so much more in this world that needs our attention. I want to thank you for sticking with us and keeping your attention on pro-life issues. You know, during this time of COVID, we've seen the need for pro-life values as we've observed the impact of COVID on the elderly and the neglect that's been exposed in some long-term care facilities. And of course, people facing unplanned pregnancies are confronted with even greater uncertainty during this time. You know, just this evening, someone contacted me on Instagram asking for resources for an abortion-minded woman living in Toronto. When we are present as individuals and organizations, and when people know that we have the resources they need, whether it's for learning or helping someone in need, we can really start to affect a difference in our community. So please join with me in praying for this woman who has an abortion booked for next week. Halton Alive will not quit. Something like COVID will not cause us to stop or delay offering our resources. We simply get creative and find new ways to evolve in an ever-changing world. Our ability to continue depends on the dollars you donate tonight. This gala is a key fundraiser for us, and the money raised sustains us long into the spring of next year. Please take a moment to prayerfully consider how much you will give tonight. And know that your dollars are used to change the culture, to educate our community, and to help those in need. You can make your donation through the donation tab on this platform, or you'll also see e-transfer and mail-in check options on the screen. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's a pleasure to be with you. Make sure you've said hi to me in the People tab, and we're so excited for what the future holds and the progress of pro-life education in our Halton community. Thank you for being here and have a wonderful evening. We will do the candy raffle at 9 p.m. so see you again then.